I'm currently just waiting for YouTube to upload it. You want the link, Econ? Okay. Alright. Sounds good. Good luck, everyone.
All right.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. It's Artie here. All right. I gotta duplicate and open up the other stream. Oh man, it's good to be back.
It is. I've been excited about this all week.
The best track on the calendar too. Let's get it, boys. All right, I haven't said this in a while. This is gonna be great. Woo! All right. Might have lost a little bit of my touch here. Whew. All right.
I got the enthusiasm today. Let's go.
Hell yeah, that's good. All right. Once it loads in, I'll do the official opening. I'm 2 Red Bulls in, by the way, everybody, so I'm pumped. I'm ready to rock.
I am not, but I am definitely ready for a great race.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm just, feel like I'm on top of the world right now. This is great. Waiting on somebody to connect.
Okay.
This is taking forever. Come on. This is wonderful. Hello? This is taking forever. Got a comment, but I cannot see it. That's interesting. What is going on here? You're still on loading screen, right?
Yes, I am still unloading.
Okay, just making sure. Making sure it's not just me looking.
Nope, it's definitely,
I think somebody's lagging out or something. Oh, wow, yeah. Look at that. Half the grid just left. Looks like we're getting a lobby reset, everybody, which is nice. This means we have to reset our apps and restart the streams, so, yeah. I'm gonna wait it out and see if it actually starts once everybody leaves. Sorry, there's a argument. Okay, now we're down to 3. Maybe whenever it's just us left, we'll be okay.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I do not want to restart this stream, because that means I have to go in and delete it.
Yeah. I understand.
And I also have to say that I'm 2 Red Bulls deep again.
Well, you just said it again.
I know, but hey, it's okay. I just eat more beef jerky. Doesn't look like it's working. I'm
No.
honestly, is Pecan sent an invite yet? No. Maybe I can just join off of an invite and I don't have to reset the app.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Sorry for these technical difficulties. Somebody's internet was not up to par, apparently.
Yes, we do apologize. The regularly scheduled broadcast will resume here in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. What he said. Just to fill everybody in on the last few point standings. 39 points clear of Breezy in second and Pecan in third. And he
Lobby is up.
Dreamsy is six, and Ripper Rick, after only racing twice, has 50 points. He's already in P7.
And it worked. Cool.
How about that? Alfa Romeo and Ferrari are currently tied at 218 points at the top of the constructors' standings. Very close there. For McLaren right behind him at 195, and Haas a little ways back at 122. And Toro Rosso, the only other team over 100 points, thanks to the 50 points scored by Ripper Rick, and they have 118.
This is looking to be a very close championship. A lot closer than last season, and it's great to see the improvement in the drivers and the improvement in just how close everyone is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a very fun race. We've got a whole bunch coming up on the horizon here as well, everybody. We've got all kinds of stuff. We've got next week, we've got the Italian GP at Monza. And then we've also got World Endurance Championship at Road America. And then 2 weeks from now, on May the 15th and 16th, will be the Indy 500 qualifying. And on the 16th will also be the Freedom 100. On the 17th, we will be racing at Singapore in the F1 League. May the 24th will be the Indy 500 day. And then May the 31st will be the Nürburgring World Endurance Championship race.
It's looking to be a very packed month with incredible races throughout the entire month.
Yeah, this is gonna be a month for everybody to stick around and watch. This is this is for all of the true motorsport fans. As for some reason, people are readying up too early. Not everybody's in here yet.
It is definitely May in the virtual world.
Absolutely. All right. So once again, we'll go over the format here. 18-minute short qualifying.
Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in the lobby.
Okay.
What?
Well, this is a problem.
Also, go to spectator, but
sorry, there was a problem on my end. But no issues. I'm getting back in.
As I was saying, qualifying will be an 18-minute short qualifying session with strict corner cutting stringency. Parc Ferme is on, but it doesn't really matter because we make a new lobby for the race, which is 50% race distance. Safety cars are on, vehicle damage is reduced, and the weather is custom to whatever the current weather is. I believe it will be a dry GP, hopefully, so that we can have a nice clean race here today. As the lobby loads in, we will be having an Antoine tribute lap on lap number 5. So myself and John will go quiet during lap 5 to pay respects to him. And we have basically instructed all the drivers to be careful on lap 5.
We do not
I don't
want
to have to yell in the moment of silence. I'm ready.
Oh, I am too.
Are you ready? Because I'm ready.
I am
all right,
very
take
ready.
2. Alright, hopefully it works this time. As we all know, the PlayStation servers have been a little funky the last few weeks because of the coronavirus. Everybody's online right now, and they've started restricting bandwidth to allow the servers to stay afloat. And here we go, we're in.
Oh
yeah.
Take it away, Damage.
We'll wait for it to load. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the UDL F1 League Season 2, round number 11. Here is Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian GP. My name, of course, is Mr. Damage, and once again, I am here with the best co-commentator in the world, Jonathan M. Ledoux.
Well, why thank you, Damage. It is great to be here, and I'm super excited to see an amazing race here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely incredible. This is one of the best, if not the best tracks in the world. And hopefully we can have a really entertaining race here today. Looks like we've got some pretty cloudy conditions here for the Belgian GP. We know that in Belgium there can be some very interesting weather, a lot of wet races in this track's history, so it could very much throw a spanner in the works and become a very good GP.
I would say it would be a very good GP no matter what. Spa always brings some incredible racing. It's probably one of the hardest tracks on the F1 calendar today, and there is so many incredible passing opportunities, high-speed zones. It's looking to be a great GP no matter what.
Yep, and I mean, if you don't like Spa-Francorchamps, you're not a motorsports fan. This track has some of the most iconic corners in the world. As we come now around Pouan, watching Breezy. We've got Pouan, we've got Eau Rouge, Radillon, and of course Blanchimont. Some of the 3 most well-known corners in motorsports, as well as the La Source hairpin at the start of the lap.
Not to mention Commentator's Corner. And even some of the no-name corners are incredible in this track. It's just this whole back straight just filled with extremely high-speed, high downforce corners that just make for great racing.
As now Breezy comes around the bus stop, and I will do my signature talking through the lap as he goes up through the gears up towards the La Source hairpin, one of the toughest hairpins in motorsports. Very wide entry, but you have to be careful on the exit because it does come in slightly as now you blast down this back straight with no DRS because of this. The Eau Rouge over Radillon. Perfect driving there. That's exactly how you want to get through the open, going out the back straight up towards Les Combes. This right hand flick it to the left in 3rd gear. Now 4th gear coming through this right hander. 5th gear coming downhill towards turn number 10. As now we've come through Stavelot, going down towards the corner with no name. one of the toughest corners on the track. I don't know why it has no name, but it doesn't have one. As now we come up towards Puan, one of the easiest places to lose the car. If you touch that curb on the outside, it could very much upset the car quite a bit. He does a great job of staying away from those curbs as now he comes through turns 13, 14, and now 15. Well, and now 15 as he comes up gearing for the back straight. He comes through turn 6. He set a purple middle sector as he comes flying down this long back banana straight up towards Blanchemont. The side of one of the best overtakes in the modern era with Max Verstappen in 2016 as we come down towards the bus stop for the final 2 corners on the lap. And it looks like he may have invalidated his time on that bus stop. So very unfortunate there for Breezy. But that was the lap here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Incredible circuit. It cannot be said enough. Just especially for these extremely high downforce F1 cars, this circuit just shines. The hard braking zones, high speed corners.
Yeah, I mean,
you could tell it was built for F1.
Yeah, this track, this is one of, if not the best track in the world. There's not very much competition to say otherwise as Ripper Rick storms up to the front of the grid again. He has very much solidified himself into one of the front-running spots. Dreamsy puts it in on provisional pole, though, for McLaren right after Ripper Rick. Dilsack also in P3 on mediums. Shawsome puts it in P3 now for the Alfa Romeo team.
It's getting, gotta get my bearings again. Oh, and Snipper Pig coming through Puhan. A little bit wide on the entry and got a little sideways hitting the grass on the entry of there.
Yeah, like I said, that is such a tough turn to get perfect, especially in the F1 2019 game. So now we have the 2 Red Bulls coming through the stop Kane. It looks like they might have done a little bit of slipstream off of each other. Let's see how Real Space Hero does. Both of their laps are invalidated. But before the race, everybody was talking about how fast these 2 McLarens were of Dreamsy and Honos, and I would not be surprised to see them at the front of the grid like usual. Snipper Pig comes across the line, goes up into P3 with a 144.100.
I heard some rumors from practice today that the McLarens were incredibly fast. So
yeah, I would not be surprised to see one of those 2 McLarens on the front row here today. We know that they have speed just from watching them race, as Honos does take the final corner to set his first true lap of the session. And on lap old tires, he puts it on provisional pole position by around half a tenth over his teammate with a 143.679.
Just to show you the speed of the McLarens today.
Yeah, those McLarens must have gotten those new Mercedes engines a year early, because, man, they're really showing out the muscle.
We
Boss
have
man coming around now.
We have a Lucas fan in the chat. Brato, sorry, I butchered your name. Good to have you in here.
Yes, let's see. Where is Lucas? Is Lucas on track? Yes, he is. He's coming up towards the bus stop chicane now. Give him a little bit of scream time here. Real Space Hero jumps up into P7, finishes his lap. Lucas's lap was, I'm assuming, slower than his lap before he pulls into the pit lane. Man, for how big of a track this is, it sure is hectic.
Yeah. I gotta get my steam back with making sure everybody gets their screen time.
Let's see, gonna jump down here.
He is on an outlap.
Yeah. Let's see. Honos most likely is on an in lap. Yeah, he definitely is. Let's see. Sevapai going down the back straight, or I guess back banana. I don't really know what to call this. Through Blanchimont, but he's on his outlap as well. The Haas driver's waiting a little bit longer, and they're kind of off sync here.
Yeah, it's interesting. They haven't been doing that much throughout this season, so maybe they're trying out a different strategy for the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Pecan. He's had a little bit of.
And Drew Yu puts it straight into the wall and coming onto the back straight and loses his front wheel.
Very easy to do that if you hit that inside curb. Hopefully, everybody can get around him cleanly here.
I got a big rig on a purple Sector 2 run.
Breezy just set the fastest lap of the session, a 1:43.4, 2/10 faster than Honos so far. Jump down to big rig, first time back in a while for this driver, filling in at Renault here today. He comes around the final corner. Let's see if he can improve and go up to the top here. He goes P10. A good middle sector like that, if he can put together the other sectors, he will be in with a shot at pole position.
Dilsack. I don't know. No, that was an outlap.
Yep, he just started his lap. Ricker Rip coming around to start his
Pecan
flying lap.
Into the final corner on his first fast lap.
He jumps up into P5, the fifth driver underneath the 144 barrier with a 143.857, behind Ripper Rick ahead of him.
Let's see what his teammate of Sevopai can do coming into the final chicane.
A lot of these drivers have been practicing for the Indy 500 this weekend, so they might be a little under-practiced for this race today. Sevapai, one of those Indy 500 drivers, jumps up to P15. Get that money run starting a flying lap.
Breezy flying.
Breezy now pulls off
in the pit.
Let's see a Ferrari. That would be Snipper Pig. We have almost every seat filled except for the second Ferrari seat here today. Unfortunately, SDX Cone Dodger has relinquished his seat at Scuderia Ferrari. So sad times. But he didn't enjoy it, so I don't blame him. So now Dulsac comes around the final corner, now putting in a lap on softs. Let's see what he can do. He does a 43.6, jumps up into P2. Man, these Toro Rosso drivers really are stepping up their game as of late.
We got a Pecan fan in the chat as well now. Good to see some fans coming in to support their favorite driver.
Shawsome becomes the next driver into the 43.8. Look at that. 3 drivers within 3.5 hundredths of a second. Sorry. Unbelievable how close 5th through 7th is currently.
It's looking like it's going to be an incredible race.
As now the 2 McLarens start their flying laps. Let's see who's coming around the final corner now. That would be Sevapai and a Mercedes. Sevapai takes the pit straight, and he does not improve. Imran Thunder right behind him, also not improving. Got Real Space Hero, get that money and run. Goes up into P12. Real Space Hero on his outlap. Gonna jump over to Lucas coming around the bus stop chicane now. See if he can improve himself. For some reason, does not open his DRS flap. But he goes a 44.8. Jump up to Snipper. And see what he does. He goes on to provisional pole with a 143.391. Really close qualifying session here today with 8 drivers so far into the 43s. And we might even see a 42 by the end of the session. It's 5 minutes remaining.
And this has just been an incredible qualifying session. And it's really a testament to how far this league has come.
Yeah, absolutely. All these drivers putting in the time to get faster, and it's really showing. I mean, these guys, this field split is absolutely incredible in the top 10 here. It's going to be a really fun race to watch. So now the two McLarens are coming down towards Blanchimont now. Honos in front of Dreamsy. Coming towards the bus stop chicane. Let's see if either one of them has what it takes to put it on provisional pole. Honos goes a little bit wide out of the final corner and compromises his run out of it and does go slower. Let's see what Dreamsy does. He is also slower that lap, so both of them having to do yet another lap.
Whoa, okay, the two Red Bulls running side by side down the back straight. One of us loses it on the outside of one of the curves there.
These two Red Bull drivers love to get elbows out with each other a lot of the time.
Lucas coming down for a quick lap.
Snipper right behind him is really pulled in on this lap onto Lucas, but does also follow him in. As Ren Thunder as well coming down, but he is going very slowly as his lap is invalidated. He might even be out of fuel. So
I think I just saw a purple first sector for Dreamsy on this lap.
Jump over to Dreamsy. He will be the next person I believe to. No, there's Bossman coming across the line now. He's on medium compound tires. Let's see. He does improve, but it is invalid. So now we'll jump back to the McLaren duo here. On us down in his time, but Dreamsy 2.5 tenths up. Let's see what Dreamsy can do. I believe he got the slipstream from Honos on the first sector and has carried it through the middle sector. Let's see what he can do in this final sector. Very clean Blanchimont there. It's going to be very close to see if he can get onto pole position. A neat and tidy final two corners. See if he got a good run onto the pit straight. He goes up 43.2 and puts it onto provisional pole with the help of Honos. As now the two Haas drivers pull out in unison.
Real Space Hero coming into a quick lap now.
Looks like his wasn't validated.
Yep.
If the map's red, that means that the lap wasn't validated.
I was not paying attention to the map. That was my bad.
Big Rig coming around to start another lap. I believe that one is also validated. Get that money and run. Pulls off into the pit lane. We got, I believe that's Breezy waiting after Blanchimont for, I assume, Shawsome. No, he's still waiting. Okay, now he goes. I believe he was just waiting for Shawsome to get that slipstream from his teammate. And I'm assuming Shawsome just finished a flying lap and jumped up. Or no, he was already there. I don't know. My brain hurts. As
you could tell it's been a while.
yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to figure out where I am right now. As Dreamsy on an in lap pretty slowly. The two Haas drivers right behind him on their outlaps. Snipper on an outlap coming up towards Blanchimont with under a minute left in the session. This will be the lap. All or nothing. See, I got a Big Rig just pulling off track over here in the middle of the middle sector. See who's coming to finish their lap.
I think the next. Oh, and one. Shawsome spins it in Puhan.
Yep. See, they're still thankfully staying out of everybody's way here. There's luckily just enough room there on the left side. So now he jumps over to the had to get out of the way. Great job from him, just staying out of the way there after he comes around to start a flying lap. Now we jump up to Breezy on his final flying lap. His lap was invalidated, so this one will not count. Jump to Bossman behind him, who is half a tenth up, still on mediums. Very interesting that he's going for this strategy. Looks like one of the Haas drivers has slowed down in the middle sector. Let's see what Bossman does. He jumps up 2.5 tenths to P13. And Honos comes across the line, does not improve. Shawsome does not improve. Now waiting for Pecan. He's the next in line to cross the line. He was half a second down though. Let's see if that's just a visual glitch, or if he can bring back this half a second that he's lost so far in the lap. He comes into the final two corners and he peels it off into the pit lane. Unfortunate for Pecan. Sevapai 7.5 seconds off. So I'm going to jump to Snipper Pig. Let's see if he can reclaim his pole position here. Coming around the final corner. He was a couple of tenths up here. He can do, and he barely improves, but not enough to take pole.
Very close qualifying.
Ripper Rick right behind the Mercedes of Imran Thunder. Both of them coming into the final corners now. Imran Thunder pulls off Ripper Rick, continues on his way. Let's see if he can improve and maybe get onto that front row. He does not. And with Ripper Rick crossing the line, that will be it. Dreamsy is on pole position here by the slimmest of margins. Let's see. See if I can do. Okay, 41 thousandths of a second between Dreamsy and Snipper Pig. Breezy 2 tenths back in P3. Dilsack 3.5 tenths off in P4. And Honos with P5. Ripper Rick, Pecan, Shawsome, Imran Thunder, and Lucas rounding out the top 10. 1.39 seconds separating the top 10. And in a long lap like this, that's pretty close.
Yeah, very close. There's so many opportunities to lose time at this track.
So here we have Kill the Birdman in P11, Real Space Hero P12, Bossman P13, get that money and run in P14, Big Rig on his return in P15, Sevapai 16th, Schweitzer 17th, through you 18th, and the Imperial did not set a lap. The only driver to qualify on the medium compound was Bossman. He will start in P13, so it will not matter. I believe there are grid penalties, but I'm not quite sure who they're for, so yeah. But wow, what a qualifying session. From Dreamsy to Lucas, only 1.3 seconds. That's incredibly close.
Incredibly close, and I cannot wait to see how this race is going to go.
Yeah, this is gonna be absolutely ballistic. We all know that this track produces great races. Why not just make another one?
All right, we are backing out of this lobby.
Do we have interviews today?
I don't think so, but you can throw it up in the chat in case anybody wants to.
I messaged Pecan. Sniffer Pig has a 10-place grid penalty. I believe that is for impeding in qualifying last week. So, Sniffer will have to start in what, P11? Wow. He's going to have to drive through the field once again. But we've seen that he can do that before. At Hockenheim, he drove through the pack, started in P14, came back to win the race. So anything can happen.
He is a very good driver to come through the field. But that being said, the drivers at the top of the field today are incredibly quick. So it's going to be tough for him to make that push through to get back to the top.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in that top 10 is going to be extremely hard for him to pass. Thankfully for him, he'll have the help of DRS, but if it's a DRS train like it is a lot of the time here at Spa, they'll have DRS in front of him too. So It's going to be very hard for them to for people to move up if they start in the rear of the field. They'll just have to do it off of raw pace, but it's hard to do around the track.
Yeah, especially with these people up at the top. I mean, you have Dreamsy, who's incredibly fast, and who's going to be leading the field in the beginning of this race, most likely, unless somebody gets an overtake on him. Breezy, again, incredibly fast, not afraid to make those moves when he needs to. It's going to be really tough for a lot of people to move up to even get into that top 10 if they are out of it. So,
And I just noticed that I can't change my ethnicity to San Marino. It's not my location. But so I guess as always, I'm going to ask you the hardest question of the day. Who will be standing on the podium here today for the Belgian GP?
well, okay, let me go relook at the standings in qualifying. My prediction, Dreamsy keeps his lead, wins the race overall. I think Ripper Rick is going to push his way through to second place. And I think Pecan is going to move his way up into third.
Very, very good podium.
And
for sure.
One other thing, I think, seeming that he is going to be so far behind, I think Snipper Pig is going to set the fastest lap, trying to gain time.
Okay. All right. All right. Here's my prediction. Now, anybody who's a Toro Rosso fan, plug your ears. Because everybody knows every time I predict a Toro Rosso on the podium, bad things happen. So, also, John, join.
Oh. I am sorry. That is my bad.
I also believe that that Dreamsy will come home and get the win his second GP of the season, but it will be a very close race between him and the two Toro Rossos. I believe that Dilsack and Ripper Rick both have the pace to be at the front of this field, and I believe that the race for the win is going to be around a 4 or 5 car pack. I believe the other 2 cars in that pack will be Pecan and Breezy. And it just depends on where the cookie crumbles, what happens, on who's on those podium positions. It's going to be an incredible race.
That is a great prediction and has as much validity to happening as any other.
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, we would just throw up 3 names that are in this list, and it would, most of the time, it would make sense. I mean...
Yes. Which is a great testament to the level of competition in this league.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, I should have went with my gut, but I decided not to. I should have just went out and said that, I mean, let's be honest, Drew Yu's going to win this race. I mean, he's the best driver in the league, so of course he's going to take home the victory, but I don't want to make it easy, so I do like having some variety in my podium predictions.
I think Drew Yu would agree with every statement you just made, so...
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep the variety here. I mean, quite frankly, if I were to mention him in my predictions like I really should, he would take pole position, first, second, and third place. He would take the whole podium.
I was gonna say he's gonna take pole position after qualifying. That's impressive.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he would go out and absolutely obliterate everybody else if he just had one more lap.
And now, just for all the viewers that don't understand, this is him talking too. So he will tell you all this by himself. So it's all in great fun.
Drew Yu is the best in the league. Everybody knows.
And it's self-proclaimed. So
yeah,
it's
self-proclaimed. I mean, last season it was Racing Point 1-2 predictions every week. We saw how that went, but it was just unlucky. I mean, with somebody like Hefty Bag on your team, it's kind of hard to finish races. Hey, Hefty, how you doing?
We love you, Hefty.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's all in good fun. We like a little bit of banter here. Banter's always good, who doesn't like a little bit of banter?
I've had a bit of a Formula One weekend this week. Yesterday, rewatched one of the greatest Formula One movies ever made, Rush, and then coming back to commentate the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. It is great, and I couldn't be any happier.
I'm going to run and grab something to drink because I just noticed I'm out of drink, so I'll be right back.
Okay. It's nice to see people actually supporting their drivers in the chat. Anybody else that's in the chat, it'd be great to see you throw up a comment. We're getting this lobby set up now. It is loading.
Here we go. You hear that?
I hear that.
That's the sound of excitement.
Excitement in a can.
Yep.
We should market that. Why haven't we funded this?
I mean, the thing is Red Bull's missing out. They should really sponsor me because I drink like 3 Red Bulls a day, so I need that sponsorship. I mean, Red Bull, if you're watching this, hit me up. My business email is mrldamage@gmail.com. Hit me up. I need that sponsorship, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, here we are for the Belgian GP at Spa-Francorchamps, round number 11 of Season 2. Here in the United Drivers League. My name, once again, is Mr. Damage, and this is Jonathan M. Ledoux.
Welcome, everybody, to a great race at the historic Spa-Francorchamps.
The newest layout and quite a few different layout changes, and quite honestly, the best layout that they've ever produced. I'm excited.
Doing many, many laps of this track in an LMP1 car. I would have to agree with you. This is their best layout.
100%. You cannot convince me of anything different. As now we look at the tire choices here. Everybody in the top 9 on the soft roll space here was promoted to P10, so we'll start on the mediums. Bossman on softs. That's so weird. Bossman qualified on mediums, but now he's going to start on softs. Why didn't he just qualify on softs?
Interesting strategy.
And also Snipper, Get That Money Run, Big Rig, and Sevapai all starting on the mediums, and everybody else behind them starting on the softs. 22 lap race today. Man, this is going to be great. Dreamsy and Breezy seem like they're pretty eager to get going. They're taking this formation lap pretty quickly.
I can't really blame them. Recently in our WEC series, it's this formation lap just feels like it takes so long because the nerves are starting to build and you're ready to just get underway with the race. It's really hard to hold yourself back in a formation lap like this.
So all the drivers coming now through the right-hander onto the back straight up towards Blanchimont now. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm happy to be back.
Oh, okay. Very close.
I hope you all enjoy as now the drivers take the grid. Looks like it's going to be a dry race here today. A little bit of cloud cover, but nothing too bad. Now Dreamsy takes his spot, and all the drivers behind take their positions on the grid. The last driver to take the grid will be the Imperial, and once he is set, the green flag will be waved.
P2 has a great camera view.
Absolutely. As now the lights will be coming on. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5, and the lights are out. Everybody goes. Dreamsy takes a really good start here. It will be completely clear of Breezy going into turn 1 side by side for P3. Dilsack goes up the inside. They're 3 wide behind the Ripper Rick, Lucas, and P off to a real stormer up into P6 already, but at the front they're pretty line and stern. They're 2 wide going up through Eau Rouge, now over the top of Radion. Oh my, how did they make it through? Wow!
It is incredible that they kept that clean.
This huge pack of cars now buzzing down the back straight, going down the inside of Dilsack here into the Lacombe chicane as they come cleanly through all of these corners. Wow.
Looks like Drew Yu got the worst of that. I think... No, Big Rig did not get any damage from that, but Drew Yu definitely did. He lost an end plate.
Pecan with a little bit of a look up the inside of Dilsack through Puan. They're side by side through Puan. Dilsack trying to hold on to it around the outside as they come through the next sequence of corners. Dilsack will hold on to P5 for now. A good initial start from Lucas originally, but has dropped back down to P8 for now. Ripper Rick off to a great start as well, up into P4. It looks like there's a couple of changes of position down through the pack. Now we come flying through Blanchimont. Pecan right on the back of Dilsack. Might be going for it here into the bus stop. Dilsack goes defensive. Pecan trying to go around the outside. Now takes the inside for the final corner. With a great move up into P5 for the Haas team.
And he gets it done. While that was going on, Bossman went into the wall down the back straight.
Quite a few drivers into the pit lane here. It's a lot of damage at the back of the grid as now all the drivers come up through. Eau Rouge and Radion. Dreamsy still in the lead. Breezy in P2 right behind. Dreamsy goes extremely defensive there, trying to keep Breezy out of his slipstream. And Honos right behind them. Ripper Rick just a little bit further behind, a little over a second. Dilsack right on the rear diffuser of Pecan. And they're DRS trained like crazy all the way down to around P12.
Incredibly close.
Action-packed first lap.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that they made it through the first, like, the hairpin and Rouge and Radion is impressive with the type of pack that they were in.
Yeah, that was incredibly close. Very fun to watch. So everybody in the top 10, top 12 really, still very close to each other. It's a huge train in this field. It's going to be a very fun race to watch. Now Breezy right on the back of Dreamsy once again coming down this back straight. Ripper Rick got into the DRS of Honos. He might be able to tag along this top 4 train whenever DRS gets activated next lap. Pecan dropped off just a little bit from Ripper Rick, around 1.5 seconds back. He's going to have to pull that gap back. Snipper looks like he's going for a move on, get that money and run into the bus stop, but not quite close enough to make anything happen. Dreamsy with the fastest lap of the race so far. Breezy right on the back of him, though. Dreamsy gets a very good exit, and Ripper Rick gained a ton of time there in that last sector. So now they're all four of them coming flying up through Eau Rouge and now over the top of Radion. Breezy gets a little bit wrong, and Honos will fly right past him. So Honos with a great opportunistic move there to take away P2, and now it is a McLaren 1-2 on the third lap of this GP.
They said they wanted it, and they might. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that would be the first 1-2 finish from a team in UDL history.
That might be a good shout. That might actually be true. I'm not sure if we've ever had an actual 1-2 finish.
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have since we started commentating. I don't know about the races before Monaco last season. Wow, this is so close right here in the top four. Pecan losing a bit of time to Ripper Rick, still on 2.2 seconds back. Honos, though, goes wide and will lose 2 spots. Ripper Rick now right on the back of Breezy for P2, and if they're not careful, Dreamsy will be out of DRS and will be able to fly away. They're side by side coming up towards Blanchimont. Ripper Rick pulls out of it just in time. That would have been very interesting there, going through Blanchimont side by side.
Something tells me Ripper Rick is not going to let that go by, though. He will be fighting to get that position back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Ripper Rick with a very hot streak here, winning the last 2 races that he's been in, the only 2 races he's been in this season, and sitting pretty on 50 points. He wants to make it a perfect 3 for 3 today. He's going to have to do a little bit of work and get up into P1, but it's a nice long race here for him to get it done. Now the 3-car train coming up towards Lake Holm. Ripper Rick going down the inside. He will get it done. Honos looking at going down the inside, but not quite close enough to make anything happen. Sevapai has retired from the session. He is the first retirement up at Radion. Unfortunate for him. That was a very big hot spot last season. There is a safety car on lap 4 for Sevapai. Jump over to Bossman to see if I can see him or not. There he is, backwards in the runoff area. Looks like he lost one of his wheels. So a safety car right here at the start of this race. Throw a big wrench in. And there's been a huge collision here. Real Space Hero and Shawsome, I believe. Real Space Hero losing a bit of his front wing. Shawsome as well having a bit of front wing damage. Now, let's see what this does for strategy. I don't know if anybody was really close enough to dive into the pit lane other than Drew Yu. Yeah, got another Lucas fan here in chat as well.
Yes, we do. We have a Jeff in your chat as well. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff. Like a stranger at this point. As now Ripper Rick goes into the pit lane.
Breezy as well, and Honos.
And I don't know if that was lag, but they were inside of each other and going absolutely berserk on my screen. Pecan as well into the pit lane. Lucas, Shawsome, Real Space Hero, all of them taking advantage of this strategy. As now the safety car picks up Dreamsy going up into Eau Rouge.
Real Space Hero, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Man, Real Space Hero, he now has 10 seconds worth of time penalties. Ripper Rick, Breezy, and it looks like the Imperial will be in front of Breezy, but Ripper Rick gets out in front of him. So Ripper Rick, after a pit stop, a free pit stop to get on mediums, still in P6. So awesome for these drivers.
Yeah, great strategy for Ripper Rick.
This also brings the guys who started on mediums into play. Money Run and Snipper were previously battling for around P9, P10. Now they're up into 4th and 5th. Iron Thunder also gaining a lot of track position here with the safety car up into P3 for Mercedes.
And it needs to be said, it is my signature comment. The best looking and sounding car is now on the track.
Yeah, I mean that Mercedes is absolutely gorgeous. There's not a single safety car in the world that is as cool as that one. It is pretty and good, just all around. It's great sounding.
I have to say, I argue that the WEC at one point did have an Audi R8 V10 Plus. So
well, that's only because you love Audi. Okay.
I love the V10. What can I say?
I also love Mercedes. So, anyways, no bias whatsoever. Bossman with a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Lucas. Not quite sure what happened there. As they come down the back straight, all the drivers trying to catch up to the back of this train. The safety car might take another lap. Not quite sure. Dreamsy backing off a little bit from the safety car just in case it does go in, but I don't believe it will as the lights are still on. And
it's a very long lap for a safety car.
Yeah, and Drew Yu still in the middle sector as well as Call the Birdman, and it will wait until all the drivers are in the queue to restart. So we might have just one more lap here of safety car, and Dulsac now pulls into the pit lane. Interesting that he now pulls in. He's going to lose so many positions, as well as Iron Thunder and the Imperial. Very interesting from these three drivers. They didn't just pit before.
Yeah, very, very strange tactic there. I don't know if they just missed the pit lane or if that's a strategy call. But while I was talking, I got a big rig, sorry. He got a 5-second penalty for a collision with, I think, Shawsome.
This is going to be a very interesting race now. So Dreamsy leading on 5-lap-old softs. Get that money and run in P2 on 5-lap-old mediums. Super Big also on the same strategy as Get That Money and Run. Ripper Rick in P4 on a fresh set of mediums, as well as Breezy, Onos, and Pecan. Lucas on a fresh set of hards. He might be going all the way to the end. Bossman on 4-lap-old mediums. He had to pit at the end of the first lap, so fortunate for him that all this happened, but he does have a little bit of front wing damage. Rules Face Hero in P10 on a fresh set of hards. He looks like he'll be going to the end of this race as we have another time penalty for a collision under the safety car. This time out to Schweitzer, who was on decently fresh softs. Kill the Bird on fresh softs. Stoltzak and Thunder on fresh hards, and Imperial on fresh mediums. Drew Yu on 2-lap-old softs. As now they have to wait for this lap to be over behind the safety car. Well, this is an interesting turn of events.
That is actually a good point. Racer X just posted that he is surprised that Dreamsy didn't pit. I'm wondering if it may be a...
Dreamsy just got disqualified from the session.
Oh my god.
Dreamsy has been disqualified out of the lead.
What happened?
I think he passed the safety car. Oh my god. Dreamsy looked like he had a shot of winning this GP and bringing home a 1-2 for McLaren, and now he's out. He's done on lap 6.
Ignoring yellow flag. Oh my god.
All right, well, Get That Money and Run now leads the field onto this restart, and he will go. Snipper Pig right behind him, and Ripper Rick, the first car on a fresh set of tires. Get That Money Run gets a very good start, pulls a decent gap onto Snipper, but all these drivers will be on a very, very long DRS train here. as Big Rig now pulls into the pit lane at the start of the at the beginning, of the green flag. Very interesting. Ripper Rick right on the back of Snipper already. Snipper 1.1 seconds back from Get That Money and Run. So Get That Money with a very good start here. He's pulled away quite a bit. Schweitzer has lost it at the top of Radion. He is now retired from the session. So Schweitzer is also out. The second victim of Radion. Now they come down
see
through
if
the
I
middle
can
sector.
get what happened. No, I can't. Couldn't see it.
So now we have 16 runners left in this GP. Last time out, only 9 drivers finished, so hopefully we can at least have 10 this time around. Schweitzer's car is still sitting on track. Hopefully it disappears. Now it did. Okay. As now they come down the blast towards Blanchimont. Get That Money and Run still leading for Red Bull. The Scarlet Red Ferrari of Snipper in P2, Ripper Rick in P3, and Breezy right on the back up through Blanchimont. He might be looking to try to make a move into the bus stop, but not quite close enough to get anything done this time around. A move there, Honos and Pecan side by side, but Honos has to cut the chicane to continue on, I believe. Yeah, he really clattered the curb. So Honos holds on to P5 for now. Man, this is going to be a very interesting race up towards Lacombe.
Get That Money and Run getting so close to the wall. Coming
wow, what
Rouge.
A camera angle. Did you get that close camera angle? That was amazing.
Yes.
Oh, as now they snake down the back straight. Nobody has DRS on this lap, so no overtakes going into Lacombe this time around. Drew Yu has retired from the session. He is the next victim of Radion. Very unfortunate for the Williams driver. And we have another safety car. Wow. So second safety car of the race so far on lap 8. Man, this is an action-packed race, that's for sure. Now here's the question. What kind of strategy are we going to get here? Get That Money and Run and Snipper have to pit at this point, right?
I would assume so. It doesn't seem like you could last the rest of the race.
They haven't pit yet, so they have to pit at some point.
Yeah.
There's not a guaranteed safety car later in. So, best chance they have of scoring good points would be to pit now, right?
I would. If I was in this situation, I would. Just don't risk it.
Yeah, they can stay out and try to hold track position as long as possible, but if that next safety car never comes, they're out of it. As neither one of them goes into the pit lane, so they're all staying out. See if anybody else does in the pack. Bossman peels off into the pit lane. He pit on the first lap for mediums. He'll most likely go on hards to try to finish out this race. Imperial also peels off into the pit lane. This will allow Kill the Birdman and Big Rig to catch back up to the pack as they're coming up towards Radion and a Rouge. Now. Well, last year, or last season, this race was wild. Same thing this time around.
Yeah, Spa never disappoints. I have to say, there's never boring races at Spa.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Lucas is on a very good strategy right now. Depending on how all those medium runners come out, Lucas could very well be on the podium today. So you Lucas fans might be in for a show.
Yeah, that strategy of going on the hards and decent track position for that strategy is He might be in for something really good towards the end of this race.
I mean, these safety cars are really preserving those hards too. Don't get me wrong, they're preserving the mediums. I don't think those mediums will last the rest of this race, but I know those hards will.
Yeah.
Imperial said in chat that he went in the pit lane late because he didn't want to be in the craziness of Eau Rouge and Radion. I completely understand. So he expected guard got it. Now I believe the safety car might come in this lap as everybody is fine. Hopefully it does. Let's see if it does. The lights are still on, so
It should, but doesn't seem like it's going to.
So looks like we'll get another lap under safety car here. And that car is leading more laps than I believe anybody else will this race.
It's the power of the AMG GTS.
I would very much assume that the safety car will be in this lap. I would hope so, at least.
You know, I really wish for these safety cars, one of us could just jump in the car and drive it around.
Yeah, but I mean, we would drive it way too fast for the actual safety car speed.
This is very true.
I'd be going through Eau Rouge and Radion flat right now. I wouldn't be slowing down for these fools. I'd be leaving them in the dust.
I don't know if you could make it flat in that car.
I would try. I mean, hey, what's the worst that can happen? It's a sim.
Damage would turn into one of those compilations of safety cars crashing.
Yeah. I mean, Mercedes does have a history of flipping whenever they go over hills, so.
Low blow.
It's not a CLK, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah. And we're not at
It's
Le
a
Mans.
descendant, but it's a descendant of the CLK, but it's not a CLK, so.
Yeah.
Should be okay there. Oh, man.
Long safety car laps.
Yeah, this is taking forever for the safety car.
And they're rounding Puhan at 60 miles an hour.
Alright, so the only drivers to have not stopped yet are Get That Money and Run and Snipper. Everybody else has done at least one stop. Birdman and Big Rig going for the 10-stop strategy. Currently, they're on 3. See, position change-wise, if we ignore Get That Money and Run and Snipper for the time being, because they are on for strategies, Ripper Rick, Shawson, actually, the biggest mover, he's up into P8 from P8 at the start of this lap.
That was kind of funny because I had a mic lag at that, and it sounded like you said he's up into P8 from P8. And I got a Big Rig severe collision penalty for 5 seconds with Kill the Birdman.
Very interesting.
Where did this safety car go?
There's a crash here. Ripper Rick gets spun in the middle of the pack, and he is kind of in a tough spot here. What is going on? Is the lights go green, and we're back racing, but Ripper Rick lost quite a few spots there and all that. Breezy peels into the pit lane. So does Birdman, Imperial, and Big Rig. I don't know what's going on there, but it's interesting. Snipper and Get That Money and Run have almost a 3-second gap to Honos behind them.
What just happened to this race?
I don't know. Shawsome and Lucas battling Shawsome seems to have gotten by at the top of Radion. Lucas looking to the inside, but we'll back out of it. I'm confused.
I don't know what happened at the end of that safety car, but it shook up the entire field.
Yeah. So Ripper Rick, scratch what I just said about him being
too
up.
This is an incredible camera angle, by the way.
Which one do you have? You lucky.
I had
you got the good camera.
I had a helicopter cam for like 4 corners.
Man. Alright, so get that money run. Snipper are going to want to try to pull away as much as possible here to stay out of their slipstream. As Pecan and Ripper Rick side by side. Ripper Rick trying to make it work down the inside, but will now lose all of his momentum, losing a slight bit of time until that slipstream starts gaining him time again. Ripper Rick, you can tell, is angry about that collision right before the safety car went in. As now he's going down the inside of Pecan and a stop chicane, trying to hold it around the outside of the exit. Pecan runs off of the track just a little bit and will hold on to the position. Saucem now trying to take advantage of this, but will be too far back. Looks like they might be side by side for P9, Bossman and Iron Thunder. Sorry, and it looks like Bossman and Luke and Thunder side by side up into Eau Rouge. Do they back out? No, they don't. Side by side over the top of Radion, and Thunder hits the wall hard. That was very scary.
I'm amazed he has a wheel, or a car for that matter.
He went straight on into that barrier, and he's left the session without retiring, so looks like we're going to have an AI car on the track for the rest of this race. Now Ripper Rick still trying to hound at the back of Pecan. Lead the Snipper and get that money and run had by around a second. Pecan trying to hold on to the back of that McLaren. Onos trying to avenge his teammate Dreamsy, who was disqualified from the session, to try to take this win for McLaren. Oh, Imran Thunder is now back, so looks like he will continue on. Snipper Pig right on the back. Get that money and run. Coming up towards the bus stop, and it looks like some contact was made. Get that money and a 5-second time penalty, but it will certainly get taken away.
Yeah.
A little bit of a misjudgment there from Snipper in the braking zone, and that will allow Honos to be right on the back of these drivers, and Pecan will be right there, tag along at the back of this train.
It was pointed out earlier, but Honos is in a prime position right now with these two having to pit in front of him.
Absolutely. As now Honos looking to the left-hand side of Snipper, going down the back straight. This might be a 3-5 Schumacher and Hakkinen style pass. Snipper does back out of it. Honos trying to get it done. Will not be able to get to it, and Snipper will get back past McLaren here. Great racing from these drivers. There's now a 6-car train here for the lead of this race. Ripper
very close.
Ripper Rick going also stop the wheel banging between these two. Ripper Rick, Pecan holds onto it as a deep on Ripper Rick, but we'll stay behind here going through Puan. Oh my!
Imran Thunder has retired. Oh, and Ripper Rick
has lost it at the exit of Puan. And so Ripper Rick will be out of it, and he resets the track. That is a big no-no. So Ripper Rick will get a huge penalty for that one. As now, Snipper Pig right on the back of Get That Money and Run once again. I think I've said that a few times already. Honos right on the back of both of these two drivers. I will say, the more they back these guys up behind them that are on fresher tires, the better chance they have of getting better points, because as we just saw, a Snipper does pull off into the pit lane, so it looks like he might be going on to possibly soft to try to finish this race. but I don't know if this strategy is going to work out for him.
It's a really difficult strategy call.
He's probably going to be hoping for some more incidents from the rest of these guys fighting for the lead. I mean, the only chance, in my opinion, that
right on, get that money and run.
Get that money and run, barely leaving a car's width on the inside. He's really showing. He is in Max's car. This shows. Pecan makes a little bit of contact with the back of Honos there, going into Lecombe. And Shawsome now up into P3. Big mover here from P18 on the grid all the way up into the podium positions. Great drive so far from the Alfa Romeo driver.
This might be one of Shawsome's best performances in this league.
Yeah, after winning the first round at Australia, grid for a little while, but now he's back after some personal issues, and he's running just as strong as he was then. Might not have had the best qualifying session, but he is in it for the win here today. He's got a very good chance here. I mean, currently he's wants get that money and run pits. So, in very prime position here to battle for this lead.
I just noticed my PlayStation is telling me I have 0 comments on my stream.
That's not very true. As now get that money and run releases Onos and Shawsome. So Onos and Shawsome will now, they really should work together to try to keep Pecan, Real Space Hero, and Lucas out of this battle. Quite honestly, I think Real Space Hero and Lucas have the best chance here. Lucas and Bossman side by side going through Force Hairpin. Lucas seems to have held on to it pretty well here. Bossman backing out of it, so Lucas will hold on, or will get up into P5.
I think there was a slight bit of contact coming down that straight as well.
Yeah, Lucas getting his elbows out, showing Bossman what's up as now they come side by side into Lecombe. And
wow.
Bossman drives around the outside of that left-hander. Great move there from Bossman in the pink racing point to move himself up into P5. But, I mean, Bossman, Real Space Hero, and Lucas are in the best positions here.
I completely agree.
Lucas makes a bit of a mistake, almost loses the car there, but thankfully saves it before it hits the wall. Loses quite a bit of time.
Field's a little more spread out now, but still very close.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, what's the gap to the leader? I mean, it's 7 seconds back to Lucas, 8 seconds back to Dilsack. I mean, Sniffer's only 15 seconds back in P8 on softs, so watch out for him to come flying through the field at the end of this race, depending on how long those softs last. Quite a few drivers are on softs for their final stints. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how this tire strategy works out for all these drivers. A lot of strategy in this race. Very interesting to watch. Your prediction for Sniffer fastest lap might come true. Ripper Rick, also on fresh softs, has a very good shot at it. Currently the fastest lap is Pecan with a 47.6. Or nope, Breezy just took it with a Sniffer 47.1. All these drivers battling for the fastest lap, getting that extra point.
Honos in a great position, as well as Shawsome, but Real Space Hero and Lucas, if they can keep it clean and just get the pace out, they have such better tires than everyone on the mediums.
Dilsack just set a purple first sector
on 10-lap-old hards.
10-lap-old hard tires. Part of that was DRS and slipstream on Lucas, but I mean he's still with a shot in this race too. So this race could really go down to any of these guys at the front of this. I mean, anybody in the top 10 could win this race.
I completely agree. They all have even the people down towards the back, they have newer tires, and they're going to be gaining quickly.
Yep. I really want to see how long those mediums last. I don't know how long they will last. Spa is very notorious for tire wear in that middle sector. And you very much need good tires for Eau Rouge and Radeon as well as Pouhon. Shaw still right on the back of that papaya orange McLaren.
It's great to see everybody in the chat having conversations.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in and watching. Shawsome lost quite a bit of time there to Honos. Honos might have just broken away from him in terms of DRS. He's out of the 1 second time. Yep. So Shawsome is now no longer in DRS of Honos, at least for this straight. He's going to have to push to get back onto the back of that papaya orange car. But we all know that those McLarens are always incredible on the straights.
Yeah, he has pushed back into a DRS zone. Shawsome seems to be having the better cornering speed right now.
Yeah, he's battling through the dirty air and still gaining time on Honos. So once again, it looks like the McLarens have that low drag setup for the long straights here at Spa.
Drew Yu has commented that Drew Yu was robbed and he is the best racer in the league. So
I mean, Drew, I was telling them earlier, like, if I were to actually have predicted a real podium, it would have been you, pole position, and top 3, but I wanted to be fair to everybody else. So, you know, it is what it is. But you remember what I said earlier about how every time I predict Toro Rosso on the podium, something bad happens?
You need to stop. It's just not working.
I just want to see them do well while I'm commentating. That's all I want.
Then don't predict them, because they're great when you don't predict them. You have the worst case of you have the worst case of the curse of the commentator with Toro Rosso.
I'm pretty bad with the commentator's curse, no matter what it is. Bossman in the DRS of Real Space Hero on those fresher mediums will get it done. Ripper Rick sets the fastest lap of the race at 46.1. Great lap from him in that Toro Rosso. He's going to have to gain 12 seconds on Get That Money and Run, who is also on softs. He wants that extra point. So you have to be in the top 10 to get that extra point. So now Bossman's going to be on a mission trying to catch these drivers in front of him with 4-lap fresher tires. As this stint goes on, he will be faster and faster in relative pace to the top 3. So it'll be very interesting watching that pink car, seeing what happens with him.
It is. It's spreading out towards the end here, but there's still some really good battles going on. Dilsack only 4/10 behind Lucas.
Lucas and Dilsack have been battling for the past 5 or 6 laps, and Snipper is now catching up to them. Snipper could get a P6 here with 4 laps remaining.
He's gonna really have to push hard though, because like everybody says, catching is different than passing.
So now
you can catch, but once you're trying to actually get the pass done, it's much different.
Dilsack finally gets the move done into the bus stop onto Lucas, but Lucas will have the DRS down this back straight after Radeon, so
will Snipper.
Yeah, Snipper will have that double DRS, but Snipper's a little too far back to really gain enough time on Dilsack. But let's see what Lucas can do. He's forced to go around the outside by Dilsack, who goes defensive, but just breezes. So Lucas will take back P6 for now. In this middle sector, This Ferrari will be absolutely compared to Dulsac because of his fresh softs. So he's going to get it done. He needs to do it here. A little bit of a mistake. He almost hits the wall there. Very close to hitting it in that Ferrari.
He needs to accept that 6th might be the best he can do, so he just needs to focus and get by these two and then just ride it out.
Jumping back up to the front of the field for a little bit of a run down here. Honos has pulled a comfortable lead onto Shawson. It looks like he's just settling in and holding on to this P2. Great effort from him. Most likely the driver of the day. Pecan in P3 currently. Bossman hunting him down, only 8/10 back, and now in DRS range. Real Space Hero in P5, first driver on the hards. And then we've got Lucas, Dulsac, and Snipper all battling for P6 here, and Breezy around 6.5 to
Snipper Pig on the inside of the final chicane and runs it on the outside and gets the pass done.
Great move there from Snipper with all the extra grip that he has. Next up will be Lucas for him down this back straight. Gonna jump up to Bossman if he can make anything happen onto Pecan with the help of DRS. He has basically no ERS left, but neither does Pecan. So both of them are gonna really be wanting to save here. Snipper now on the back of Lucas. Lucas using all of his ERS now. A lot of these drivers don't have very much ERS left, except for Honos and Shawson. Looks like we've got a Red Bull that has spun here. Get that money and run. In the wall on the middle of the back straight. Interesting place to be for the Red Bull driver.
He hasn't got it going again. There we go.
Snipper right on the back of Lucas here, going through Puan. He is basically breathing on that rear diffuser, looking to the outside here through this right, left.
Oh, and Lucas spins
it on the inside. Not sure if there was any contact between the two, but Lucas spins around there through the right-hander and will fall down into P8. Now we jump up here to the fight for the final podium position. Bossman and Pecan here. Bossman on 4-lap fresher tires. He might even be able to catch up to Shawson. Shawson's right ahead of him on the road. If he can get past Pecan, he's got 2 laps to try to get past Shawson as well.
Oh, and
Bossman going for it into the source hairpin.
And he
gets it done. Great late move there from Bossman, but now he's going to have to worry about Pecan having the DRS on him down this back straight. But he's got a little bit more ERS to use here than Pecan. So now they're side by side down the back straight. Pecan will take back over P3. Looks like we're gonna have a great battle to the end here for the third podium position.
This is a really close race.
So now Pecan holds on to P3, and the longer these two battle, the more it just solidifies Shawson's position here. Get that money and run. Has officially retired, pulled it into the pit lane, so his race will be over.
Bossman catching Pecan again. He's gonna try and make the move again.
Bossman right on the back of Pecan here. See what he could do up towards Blanchimont and into the final chicane.
If I was Bossman, I would hold behind Pecan until the back straight, get by him in the DRS zone, and then try and gain time through the rest of the lap.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Making the overtake in the final chicane or in La Source is never good here, especially with DRS, because there's such a long back straight. I mean, the slipstream in DRS is so powerful here. Tries to do a little bit of a dummy, try to throw Pecan off, as now we start the final lap of the race. Bossman can get it done here. That'll leave Pecan with very few options to try to pass him back. Ratty on now. Angle as they come flying over the top. Bossman will have the DRS flat wide open. Pecan has now ran out of ERS. He is on the limit.
Oh.
Bossman trying to make it happen down the inside. Pecan leaving a car's width and no more. Great defensive driving there from the Haas driver. As now Bossman's going to have to try to get it done in the final few corners. Meanwhile, Breezy has gotten past Lucas, so Lucas has fallen all the way down to P9. Unfortunate for them.
He was looking to be in a very good position midway through this race. It just didn't seem to work out for him well towards the end.
Yeah. Bossman, once again, right on the back of Pecan. Those mediums have to be falling off on that Haas. As Bossman's right on the back of Pecan here.
He is giving it everything
he's got. He is giving it everything. He is right on that rear defender of Pecan. Up towards Blanchimont. They are right on the back of each other. Pecan doing a great job holding him behind for now, but he looks to the left-hand side. Pecan comes across. Bossman goes down the inside. Contact going into the final chicane, and Bossman will come home for P3. Honos takes the victory. Shawsome, a great drive to come home in P2. Bossman P3. Pecan in P4. Real Space Hero comes across the line in P5, but has 5-second time penalty, so he will be P6. Zipper Pig will get P5. Dulcek P7. Breezy P8. Lucas in P9. Ripper Rick will come across the line, I believe, to score a solid 2 points, one for 10th and one for fastest lap. So his win streak is now over. Kill the Birdman coming around the final few corners now. I Got a Big Rig has spun, and Imperial, the last driver here, so what a finish.
I do apologize for not catching Honos on the victory, but that was extremely close between Pecan and Bossman. Bossman trying everything he could to get by Pecan on the back straight. A bit of a controversial pass, not sure how that's going to play out after the fact, but wow.
I mean, I'm on the fence about that finish, quite honestly. I really think it was a bit of both of them, to be fair. Pecan didn't leave very much space on the inside. He was actively coming over in that braking zone, and they made contact midway through the braking zone. Bossman, it looked to be very close to the grass on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Bossman seemed to be very close to the grass. I'm not sure... I can't say if it's going to be ruled a penalty or not, but I can't say I would be surprised if it did or didn't.
Yeah, that was an incredible finish there between those two drivers. Guys, keep it down in chat. I know it's chat, but
yeah,
I mean, that was a great race. Nevertheless, I mean, either way, that was an awesome race and an awesome finish. So,
as a commentator, I am sorry, but I keep everything non-biased.
Yep. So, at the end of the Belgian GP at Circuit Spa-Francorchamps, Honos takes home the McLaren victory. Shawsome comes home in a very surprising P2 from all the way back at P18 on the grid. Incredible drive from the Alfa Romeo driver. Bossman as well, coming from P11 to P3. Pecan coming home in P4. Snipper Pig in P5. Real Space Hero in P6. Dulcek falling down to P7. Breezy, the biggest loser, I believe, down in P8. Lucas in P9. Very unfortunate for him. He was up in P5 at one point there at the end of the race. Ripper Rick had that incident at the in the safety car, and after that it seemed to all unravel for him. And Kill the Birdman, Imperial, and I Got a Big Rig are the final finishers. And everybody else was a DNF.
It was a great race, and I'm so happy to be back to see the rest of the season play out. I just can't be any happier.
Yeah, that was an incredible race. So So if you all enjoyed that race, please leave us a like. It really helps us out. Helps us
Subscribe.
show up on the YouTube search feed more often whenever people look up Formula One 2019.
Subscribe to both the UDL channel and Damage's personal channel. Races are streamed every race is streamed on both, so you get both perspectives.
Yeah, I mean, we have races like that every week, and so all of you that are just tuning in this first time, you should go back and watch the other ones. They're all very incredible. But sadly, this is the end of the broadcast. This was round 11 of Season 2 in the United Drivers League F1 Championship here at Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian GP. My name has been Mr. Damage.
And I have been Jonathan.
And I will see you guys next week for the Italian GP at Monza.
Good night, everyone. 1 second.